breaking news, Coinbase, the #1 crypto exchange in the US, has now launched crypto-backed loans powered by Morpho, meaning you don't have to sell your Bitcoin or Ethereum. You can borrow against your assets and get cash while you stay invested. This is a game changer for crypto investors. Their Borrow product has been around for a minute and has already seen huge success. The news this week is they just launched this for Ethereum and much more to come. In this video, I will explain to you everything you need to know, why you would want to borrow against your crypto assets rather than selling, and how it can benefit you, the risks you need to keep in mind with products like this, the 3 big reasons why Coinbase Borrow beats other competitors in the space. In fact, we will compare Coinbase Borrow to other leaders in the space with these products. And overall, in today's video, I will explain to you, I will show you exactly how you can use Coinbase to borrow against your crypto assets. This is your one-stop shop for everything you want to know about Coinbase Borrow. We've partnered with Coinbase today to ensure product accuracy. So, first of all, why would anybody want to use this product? Why would anybody want to borrow against their crypto assets? Well, think about it like this. Being able to hold your valuable assets that you covet and borrow against them rather than selling to generate cash is how people have generated wealth for generations. And now you can finally do that with digital assets in a much easier, much more competitive way that we've ever seen in this space before. So what makes Coinbase Borrow special? Well, the loans are powered by Morpho and they implement a DeFi Mullet strategy. So centralized exchange front end, DeFi back end. This gives Coinbase users direct access to on-chain finance. Like I said, this was a very successful product right out of the gate. So far, they have cumulatively originated $1.2 billion in loans. This is growing quickly as adoption grows. And I'm sure you understand why you would want to do this. I'm sure you have heard experts say, do not sell your Bitcoin. It is a taxable event. You will lose exposure to the asset to gain filthy fiat. So what if you could have the cash but not sell your assets? Finally, the future is now. Like I said, we've had products like this in crypto for a while, but the rates have never been competitive. So before we even get into more product details, let me first show you this clip. I love all the good information that Coinbase is putting out there so we all understand everything that we need to understand to use this. This video clip gives you a great idea on exactly the value prop of Coinbase Borrow. Here is their product lead, introducing their product, and the value prop of the product in less than 60 seconds.
Hi everyone, my name is Sid Ramesh and I'm a product manager at Coinbase, focused on our Bitcoin-backed loans product. So how does Bitcoin-backed loans actually work on Coinbase? As a customer, I'd be able to access a loan on Coinbase by depositing Bitcoin, which is then sent into a third-party platform called Morpho. And the Bitcoin is securely locked in Morpho smart contracts. And the platform actually disperses USDC into your Coinbase account directly in your app. When you're ready to repay the loan and get your collateral back, you're able to send USDC back to Morpho's contracts, but this is all abstracted and you're able to use Coinbase as you would every day and then get your collateral back once the loan is fully repaid. Our value proposition is very clear. We're 2 times cheaper than other platforms out there, and we're 3,000 times faster. You can borrow as low as 5% and you can get it under a minute. And there's a few other ways we differentiate our product. You can repay anytime, so there's no monthly payments, there's no fixed deadline. You're able to repay whenever you'd like. Coinbase also does not treat your loan transaction as a taxable event. And very soon will also be global. The future of finance is very much on-chain. I'm excited to see our Bitcoin-backed loans product scale into this world in a much more faster, more efficient, and global way.
So let's jump into the details. You can borrow up to $1 million with Coinbase Borrow using your Bitcoin or Ethereum as collateral. I have even heard on good authority that they are increasing their 1 million limit to 5 million soon. You will be able to borrow up to 5 million. And also, more coins will most likely be added in the future so users can borrow against much more of their crypto. Once again, this is powered by Morpho. CeFi in the front, DeFi in the back. The DeFi Mullet concept is an appealing feature for this. Their product lead explains.
Let's talk about the meme, the DeFi mullet. What does it mean? How does it describe the types of products that Coinbase is developing?
DeFi Mullet, in a nutshell, is effectively a trusted, easy-to-use front end, which we all love and use today at Coinbase. And behind the scenes, it leverages DeFi and on-chain primitives to power the activity that you get on Coinbase. So you get all the benefits of a centralized surface that you can use day-to-day, like your app or website. And then behind the scenes, the complexity is actually living on the DeFi on-chain smart contracts. So actually, the reason it's a mullet is because you have a very easy-to-use interface in the front end, and then you have the DeFi complexity in the back end.
So loans originate in seconds, very fast origination, with no additional credit checks, no time spent on additional credit checks. Huge. Pay rates as low as 5%. Live and historical rates can always be seen here. Rates move automatically based on market activities. At an average of around 6%, that is about 2x better than competitors out there now. If you don't know, APR is the yearly rate you're being charged for the loan, so it's interest plus certain fees expressed as a percentage. You want as low of a rate as possible. Here again is Coinbase's product lead to talk about their variable rates and explain how they do the rates.
The rates on the product today are variable. So we integrated Morpho's CBBTC, USDC lending market on Base. And the way this works today is a variable interest rate loan. So rates are effectively a function of how much liquidity is utilized on the underlying market. And the more it's utilized, the higher the interest rate. And of course, if you're deep in DeFi, you know that this is some kind of curve, which is a function of utilization. And so far, the market has been in a healthy utilization, also including the lenders in that pool. So we've seen rates range from 5 to 7.5%. The prevailing rate right now is about 7.5%. But we've seen historically, if you do the average across the last few months, it's closer to 6-ish%, which is still almost 2 times, I would say, attractive than other offerings in the market. And you can look at other centralized platforms as well. And we've effectively, through DeFi, been able to offer really attractive interest rates to our borrowers.
It is convenient. The loans are easily managed right on your Coinbase app. You can repay at any time. That is a feature. No monthly payments, no deadlines, settle whenever you want. And it is so cool to see this launch in the US. It's everywhere in the US except New York State right now, I believe. Let's keep drilling down on why you would want to use Coinbase Borrow powered by Morpho. So the reason why anybody would want to use a product like this is you can cover your life expenses without having to sell your underlying asset. You can borrow stablecoin and turn it into regular cash with 0 fees, perfect for down payments, for debt refinancing, urgent bills. The way Coinbase does it is efficient and tax-friendly, as Coinbase will not treat your transactions as a taxable event. And according to Sid here, there are 3 big reasons why Coinbase Borrow really differentiates themselves. It's ease of use, very competitive rates with global liquidity, and just the overall other Coinbase bells and whistles you get by using this product that can really elevate your investing game. Listen for yourself.
Yeah, I think broadly there's like 3 benefits. One is the ease of use, the fact that you don't have to worry about leaving Coinbase, using other platforms, or even understanding the intricacies of DeFi and on-chain. It's almost like you don't have to think about any of that. You still get all the benefits of it in the Coinbase app, but with a very simple user experience. And it does play a huge role as we reach the mass market, right? Within the US or other countries we expand to, user experience is something that we really value, and it basically solves a lot of the headaches that people go through, especially when using crypto. The second benefit, of course, is the fact that you get really good economics from this transaction. Just because it's a global pool of liquidity and lenders around the world are lending capital. So you effectively get economies of scale because the cost of capital is very attractive. And the cost of capital is very attractive. The demand actually naturally flows to those markets. Thereby, you're effectively being able to create a really strong financial system on these rails. And then the third part is actually all the ancillary services that come with using Coinbase: tax reporting, transaction management, tracking, like basically like all your assets in one place, the convenience of managing your assets and loans and lending activity all within the Coinbase app for easy to access data, right? And by the time the tax year comes, you actually have statements that are issued for you as a user as well. So you have the full suite benefits from user experience, the convenience of having everything in one place, and also the transparent and economics of DeFi for your actual lending activity.
So let's talk LTV, loan to value ratio, and margin call. This is what you need to understand when using borrow products like this. First of all, LTV, it's how much you're borrowing compared to the value of the asset you're using as collateral. Example, if you borrow $20,000 against $100,000 of your Bitcoin, your LTV is 20%. A margin call happens when your LTV gets too high because your collateral drops in value. The lender warns you to add more collateral or pay down the loan, or the risk is they'll start liquidating your assets. So here is the details regarding that for Coinbase Borrow. Initial borrows for a new loan must be under 75% LTV at the time of opening the loan, and then loan to value ratio must remain under 86% to avoid triggering an automatic liquidation and being charged a penalty. How does this compare to other top products in the space? So Ledn is a competitor in the space. Just look at these awful rates. Borrow at 12.4 APR, yuck. Plus, Ledn is not DeFi. Plus, you would have to onboard to a new platform to use this. The loan terms are different. Ledn loan terms are 12%, but you can renew as long as your LTV is healthy. Coinbase, you repay at any time. Now, Ledn, of course, has originated much more loans because they've been around for years, but Coinbase is much more US-centric, available in a lot more places in the US. The APR here is disgusting, though. This is the type of non-competitive rates that I was familiar with, that I thought was the standard in the industry from my experience. And so the rates for me are the biggest thing why I'd choose Coinbase, and the fact that Coinbase is DeFi. Now let's do Figure. Look at this. You can see that neither of these are good in the US like Coinbase is good in the US. The APR, it's slightly more competitive, but still Coinbase Borrow powered by Morpho beats it. Also, it is interesting to note that both Ledn and Figure put their LTV at 50%. The way to think about it is like this. If you want safety, a 50% LTV is better. If you want maximum borrowing, an 80% LTV is better. Just something to note. So, in conclusion, why is Coinbase Borrow powered by Morpho the best? Well, their rates are historically much lower than competitors. It uses DeFi. A loan takes seconds to originate instead of hours or days. You can borrow up to 1 million and soon to be 5 million of stablecoin with zero repayment schedule and just very, very easy to manage within your Coinbase app. Guys, check them out for yourself. Do more research. Seriously, Coinbase Borrow powered by Morpho is one of the best in the game right now. There is reason why you would want to borrow against your crypto. And if you do, Coinbase Borrow is the one to look at. So I'm going to leave links to Coinbase Borrow below. Check them out. Follow through with the links below. My name is Aaron at Altcoin Daily. Make sure you're following us on Instagram. Make sure you're following us on Twitter. See you tomorrow.